Hey everybody, this is Anthony from VR Game Rankings, and welcome to episode 12 of our daily vlog series for Tuesday, October 17th. And we got some exciting stuff to talk about today, some interesting things to go over, and you guys can probably tell the video looks a little bit different. Okay, so yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw episode 11, but I was looking at episode 11. I didn't notice this yesterday until later on. I was looking at episode 11 and it was incredibly dark, like super dark. Something was wrong with my camera. And then every once in a while I would do something like this and my camera would like tweak out. And so what I decided to do is I've been recording these daily vlogs with OBS using my Logitech C920 webcam. You know, not the greatest webcam in the world, but it does do 1080p. It should be relatively decent. And unfortunately, when I was recording it in OBS, I wasn't getting widescreen, and I wasn't sure why that was the case. I was checking settings, doing all kinds of things, didn't really change anything. And then I was like, well, the hell with it. I'm just going to do it. Whatever, I'll worry about that later. But then when I had the camera problems yesterday, I decided, you know what? Why don't I try recording this in the actual Logitech software itself and not use OBS at all? And then maybe I can get better resolution. The lighting maybe will be better. I don't know. Let's just try that out, right? So I tried to do that, but something was wrong with my Logitech software. I was trying to record videos. It wasn't recording any videos. So what I did was I deleted that software completely. I re-downloaded it, and it's working great. So now I'm recording this in the Logitech software. Now I played around with like the gain and the white level and all that stuff, and I'm not sure that I got it dialed in perfectly right for this video here, but you know, we'll see how it turns out, and I'll keep playing with it as the days go by. I also added another light back there to kind of illuminate me a little bit more, so that I don't have any of these like really dark shadows and stuff like that. Hopefully it won't make me too ugly, but you know, we'll see what happens here. That's the downside of higher resolution, right? It exposes everything. Okay, so let's get into the news stories that we have today. And we do have a handful of news stories, nothing like earth-shattering. Today, like I said, today is D-Day, and there are lots of releases that are happening today. There is a lot of excitement in the VR industry today because we have releases across all major VR platforms, big time releases. So it is exciting from that standpoint. And today is the launch day for the Windows Mixed Reality headsets. Which reminds me, I need to call that Microsoft store and see if they have a demo and try to drive out there and check out a demo. Don't know if I'll be able to do that today, but I do need to call them. So anyway, what is the number one news story today? The number one news story today is something I never expected. Killing Floor Incursion is coming to Steam on November 7th. The price for this game is going to be $39.99. But there is an early launch discount for $33.99. Now, Killing Floor Incursion, I thought this was an Oculus exclusive. I thought this was similar to The Mage's Tale, to Lone Echo, and Wilson's Heart, you know, all those other Oculus games. I thought it was a much longer exclusive, maybe not permanent exclusive. Like Mage's Tale is not a permanent exclusive, but it might be like a 1-year exclusive. This is a much shorter exclusive. I'm really surprised that Killing Floor Incursion is coming to Steam. I had no idea whatsoever. I really love Killing Floor Incursion, and so this is awesome that HTC Vive gamers are going to be able to play this as well and not have to deal with Revive, because sometimes with Revive the controls can be a little sketch. The translation doesn't come across perfectly, and so actual HTC Vive gamers will be able to get Killing Floor Incursion on Steam and play the game on Steam. So that's wonderful news for HTC Vive owners out there. This is going to be one of the biggest VR games that's coming to the Vive this holiday season. I have to add this actually to the HTC Vive Top 20 Most Wanted. Killing Floor Incursion is going to come in there pretty high. This is a primetime game. Now, I know it's already been available, so it's not as exciting and new as something that no one has ever touched, but this is a high-end game. This is one of the better games of 2017. The one thing that you have to understand, though, about this game is it does really bring that terror element, and this game will trigger that fight or flight response. You have these zombies that just come at you relentlessly. There's this one particular zombie in Killing Floor Incursion that, oh my god, he is so pissed, and he comes over at you and he's stomping his, I mean, he's actually stomping his feet, and he's got this expression on his face like he just wants to beat the living crap out of you. And every time I see that one particular Zed, okay, not really a zombie, I guess a Zed if you go by the Killing Floor Incursion dialogue there, but every time I see this guy, I almost start laughing because it's just funny how he comes at you so freaking pissed off. And the zombies are really cool in this game. I mean, really, the only negative thing I could say about Killing Floor Incursion, well, there were a number of bugs. There still are a number of bugs. I would get to these certain points where I'm trying to do a boss fight, and then I have to, well, I don't complete the boss fight. Then I come back later on, play the game again, and load up that boss fight, and it's screwed up. I have to go back to the point before the boss fight, finish that whole section, go into the boss fight, and finish it all in one fell swoop, because if I try to start my game from the boss fight, it wouldn't work. And as far as I know, this has not been completely fixed on the Oculus Rift, because I've played Killing Floor Incursion not that long ago, and I still had the very same problem. Hopefully, with the Steam VR release, hopefully some of these bugs will be ironed out, and hopefully Vive players won't have to deal with that. This is $40, you know, it's not cheap, and it's coming November 7th. But man, this is exciting. It's really good news for HTC Vive gamers, especially the ones that get into the politics of it all, and they don't want to buy anything on the Oculus Store, and they hate the exclusive. I mean, I understand that. I really do. Me personally, I don't get caught up in the politics. I just want to play VR games, okay? I want to play the best VR games. I don't care what platform they're on. I don't care if there's a 1-month exclusivity or a 1 year. I don't care. I just want to play the damn games. And I'm doing a website. I'm doing reviews and stuff. I'm doing this YouTube channel with stuff like that. I can't worry about the politics of exclusivity and walled gardens and all that stuff. You guys can debate that all day long. I'm just going to keep playing great VR games, and that's my personal take on that. But that is great news today. Killing Floor Incursion. Who would have expected it? I certainly didn't expect it. I didn't hear any rumors about this or any whispers about this. This came out completely out of the blue as far as I'm aware. Okay, number 2 is the Talos principle. So actually, it's funny, when I was going to start this show, the word was that this game had been delayed, and that there was kind of conflicting reports. One guy said that the Talos principle was actually going to come out tomorrow, Wednesday the 18th, that it's been delayed one full day. But one of the Crow Team developers jumped into this one thread and said, no, we're still coming today. We're just going to be delayed by maybe a few extra hours, but we will be up today. And so I had a delay in recording this show. This show's coming up late. This is going to hit my YouTube channel a little bit later than normal today, and my apologies for that. But that has 100% to do with switching over to this different video recording setup through the Logitech software. So hopefully better video, the widescreen, of course, and all of that. So hopefully that will be a little bit better. But yeah, you know, coming to the starting this episode a little bit later today, Talos Principle is available. I was going to report that it was delayed, but no, it is available. Now the price is $39.99, and I was pretty curious about this price point. I have to admit that it's kind of on the high side. Okay, $39.99. See, the thing is, in VR gaming, $40 on the PC, the $39.99 price, that's kind of the elite price. I know we have a few games that are $59.99, but for the most part, this $39.99 price is kind of that high-end VR game. Lone Echo is $39.99. Wilson's Heart is $39.99. Killing Floor Incursion is $39.99. Arizona Sunshine is $39.99. Raw Data is $39.99. So a lot of the biggest bangers in VR are this $40 price point. Now, I'm not saying that the Talos Principle is not a big banger, but it's a puzzle game, And I don't know that a puzzle, I mean, as cool as it may be, I don't know that it's up there with those other kinds of games. And so I thought maybe a $29.99 price would fit this game a little bit better. So the $39.99 price did catch me a little bit off guard. I did reach out to Crow Team to try to get a key for this game. I have not heard anything at all. It's funny, when I try to get keys for various games, sometimes a developer will shoot me back a key virtually minutes after I send the email, and it works out really good, and I'm able to get quite a bit of keys, and it really helps somebody like me out where I'm not a major corporation with incredible financing backing me and all this investment money backing me to be able to buy anything and everything that I need to try to run the website and try to run the YouTube channel and all that. I'm a regular, normal Joe out here, and there's so many VR games coming at all times, so many different ones, that trying to buy every single game is difficult. And then there's the other factor. I kind of want to represent for the VR gamers out there that you can't buy every single game that comes out. You have to kind of pick and choose, and you kind of have to pick your spots on which VR games you're going to buy and which VR games you're not going to buy. And there's so many great games that are always coming, and we have to budget for the next month. I mean, November 14th next month, you have, I believe, From Other Suns and LA Noire, the VR case files. That's coming on November 14th. Now on November 7th, we got Killing Floor Incursion. So there's always big games coming. And I know there's gamers out there, they have to budget it. They can't just buy every single game that comes down the pipe. And so I kind of want to represent for those gamers as well. Almost like Cheap Ass Gamer. I don't know if you guys have heard of that website, but I used to be a member of that website. And from a consumer standpoint, I'm kind of the guy that I don't jump on every big name game like on the first day, bam, bam, bam. I normally don't do that. Now that I'm covering VR, I have to do that. You know, I have to try to get into these games right away. But yeah, the $40 price, I think, is a little on the high side. And so I don't know if I'm going to get Talos Principle right away, buying it with my own money, because again, all the money that I'm using towards VR game rankings, I have to budget it appropriately. And so I don't know. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I haven't made a final decision on the Talos Principle yet. Maybe I'll see what kind of results we get back in terms of the early reviews, people that get the game right away. I'll see what they say about it. Remember, I'm rocking a 970 graphics card, and that's a problem as well, because sometimes some of these games don't run that well on a 970, so that could kind of color my experience to a degree as well. But the Talos Principle is out. It is definitely one of the biggest VR games that are coming out today, and so that is exciting, and we are looking forward to that, to be sure. Okay, so yesterday I was talking about all the big bangers that were coming out today, and I said, I know I'm forgetting a couple of games. Well, one of the games that I'm forgetting is Skyworld. Skyworld, which is coming from publisher Vertigo Games, and I believe it was Wolf Dog is the developer. Wolf Dog Interactive, Wolf Dog Entertainment, Wolf Dog something, I'm pretty sure. I'm not going to go ahead and open up my internet browser and check on that, because sometimes when I open up my internet browser, it screws up my video. Although I am recording the video in a completely different way, so hopefully that wouldn't happen. But I'll test that. I'll test that some other time and not actually test it on air when I'm doing this. But Skyworld, so Skyworld, the normal price for Skyworld is $29.99, but it does have an introductory 25% discount for $29.99. And one of the reasons I forgot about Skyworld is I'm not really a real-time strategy guy. You know, we all have our favorite genres, and then we all have genres that maybe are not our particular favorite genre. And real-time strategy, I've come to the conclusion that real-time strategy is not really my ideal kind of a genre. And I think the reason for that is because in regular real life, I have to say that, you know, when it's micromanaging, it's multitasking, and honestly, I deal with that enough in my regular day-to-day life that I don't want to do it in video games. I don't find it enjoyable. I find it it makes me tense, kind of irritable. Like I don't get fun in that. I played Tethered on PlayStation VR, and I like Tethered. I saw what they were doing with Tethered, and I like the game. But at the same time, the farther and farther that I got into the game, it's just constant multitasking. You're constantly like managing like 28 different things simultaneously, constantly moving over here, doing this, doing that. I don't find that fun. Okay, for me personally. Now I know there's people that absolutely love this stuff. They eat it up and they can't wait to have a great real-time strategy game in VR. And remember, Brass Tactics by Hidden Path Entertainment, that was supposed to come out on October 19th. That was supposed to come out this week. That game got delayed to February 22nd of 2018, and here's Skyworld. So Skyworld gets a major benefit out of this. I'm sure they probably got on the phone and called up Hidden Path Entertainment and said, hey, thanks for doing us a solid, because if you're looking for a real-time strategy game, Skyworld is kind of the only game in town right now in terms of a new big-time, prime-time VR RTS game. Now, this is coming from Vertigo Games, but one thing I want to caution people on is in the advertisements for Skyworld, it talks about from the makers of Arizona Sunshine. And so you're thinking, oh, these are the guys that made Arizona Sunshine. This is their next game. Oh, this is going to be huge. This is going to be awesome. Well, you got to understand here that Vertigo Games is a publisher. Now, I'm not exactly sure. They might be a development studio as well and a publisher, but I know that when it comes to Arizona Sunshine, Jaywalkers, another development studio, I think they're like the true development studio behind Arizona Sunshine, but don't quote me on this. I'm kind of talking out of my ass, to be completely honest with you. But I just want to say that you're not necessarily buying, if you buy Skyworld, you're not necessarily buying a game from the same exact developers that made Arizona Sunshine. Now, you're buying a game from the same publisher, Vertigo Games, but Wolfdog Interactive or Entertainment or Wolfdog Games or something. Wolfdog is the real developer for Skyworld. Now, I'm not saying that Vertigo Games doesn't have additional programmers, producers, and stuff like that that also contributed on this, but it's not really coming from like the exact developers of Arizona Sunshine. So that needs to be understood. So I think part of the hype level for Skyworld is this is Vertigo Games. This is Vertigo Games' next big game. This is going to be huge, right? But just understand there's publishers, there are developers, and sometimes it's the same publisher, but different developers. So you might not get the exact same game out of there. Okay, what is our next news story of the day? The next news story of the day is Payday 2. Okay, so we talked about Payday 2 yesterday. There's a slight possibility that we could get Payday 2. I believe it's October 23rd, or there might be like an open beta that starts on October 23rd or a closed beta. We're not sure, but on October 23rd, we're going to hear more about Payday 2. But one of the rumors that has leaked out of this, it was on the Oculus subreddit. Somebody was talking about how Payday 2 is only going to feature teleportation. There will be no free movement as far as we know for Payday 2. Now, this is unofficial information. This is kind of a rumor. I don't know that this is like concrete, locked in stone type of information here as far as the teleport maneuver. Now, it's funny because you're going to have a certain group of people that are going to be up in arms over this, and they're really going to complain about this, and they're going to scream and holler about this. And I understand, because as a VR veteran, when I get into a game that is teleport, I'm teleporting around, and I'm like, yeah, okay, teleport works. Now can I turn on the free locomotion so I can just go anywhere? But some of these games, they have teleport and free locomotion, and sometimes the free locomotion is kind of janky and doesn't really work that great, and I end up using teleport more often than not. Raw data, for example, raw data, in the HTC Vive version of raw data, they added, go anywhere locomotion type thing. I turn that on, and honestly, I don't like it that much. I don't know what it is about their implementation of it, but it doesn't quite feel good to me. So I actually mostly use teleport. So just because a company adds go anywhere type of locomotion doesn't mean it's going to work that great. So there's that as well. But the teleport, going back to the teleport thing, does this kill the Payday 2 experience? It's hard for me to say right now, but remember, this is a free experience as far as I know. Like, if you already have Payday 2, you're just getting this for free. So we're not paying $39.99 to get the VR version of Payday 2. So one of the favorite phrases I like to use is beggars can't be choosers. We're getting this for free, so we can't be that choosy about it. We got to kind of accept what comes our way. And so I don't know. I mean, this could be a real big downside for Payday 2 VR. Like, it could really kind of dampen the overall experience of it. But I kind of want to wait and try it out and see for sure. I don't necessarily write a game off just because it doesn't have free locomotion. And then the other thing too is we're still in early days of VR, so it's going to take a while for these companies to realize that the free roam anywhere locomotion works for a lot of people. And for the people that it works for, they're more VR veterans, and so a lot of new players that are not used to VR. Remember, these teams that are developing these games, they bring in family members, they bring in relatives, and they let them try it. And a lot of these family members and relatives, maybe they've never tried a VR game in their life, and that free roaming locomotion throws them off, and they do get, they feel queasy. They're not ready for it. They don't have their VRC legs. And so a lot of developers are like, oh shit, we've got to use teleport. And so it is this kind of catch-22 conundrum, but I think as we get further into VR, more developers will realize that they have to have both options. They have to bring both options. And a lot of games, honestly, need to have both of them available at the same time where you can mix and match. I like games that do that. They mix the free locomotion and the teleport. It's a great mixture to have both if the controls allow for it and it doesn't make it too complicated. Or at least give us the options in the settings to be able to dial that in. Okay, continuing with some of the news stories that are for today. Mixed reality headsets. Okay, so one dude is reporting that the IPD adjustment on these mixed reality headsets is terrible. That if you have a larger IPD, like if your IPD is in the 70s, you're out of luck when it comes to these mixed reality headsets, because like the maximum IPD is like a 66. Now, apparently this is the case with all of the mixed reality headsets except for the Samsung. The Samsung apparently has its own physical IPD movement controls, and that's part of the reason why it costs more. It also has the built-in microphone. It has a cushier design. Now, this is huge for me personally because I went to an optometrist and I had my IPD checked. I had, they had me look inside this thing and they moved some things around and they told me that my IPD is 72. So I'm on the high side. And so now, I don't know, man, these mixed reality headsets might not really work for me unless I try the Samsung. So I still want to get a demo for these mixed reality headsets. I still want to try these mixed reality headsets out. But the IPD thing does worry me greatly. And it's kind of weird because if you think about the average European and American male, that's a pretty low IPD that they have it set for. Excuse me, sorry. That's a pretty low IPD that they have it set for. So you would think they would run into some problems with this. Now, I understand if they set the IPD lower like that, like the pixel density is better or something. So that could be part of the reason they did it. And the Samsung one is more of a gamer's headset. And so maybe the IPD adjustment there is more critical. But it's something to keep our eye on, and it's something to keep in the back of our mind. Same thing with like mixed reality headsets don't work in the dark. There's going to be these things that we find out about these headsets as time moves on and as regular everyday people get their hands on these devices. So that's an interesting news story right there. Okay, so let's get on to the games. I don't have a lot of time left, but I did want to talk about a handful of games. So Luna, I was able to play Luna yesterday. Luna is by Phenomena, but it's spelled F-U-N, fun, omina. It's kind of a play on words. Now, there's some developers from that game company. I don't know the exact names, like Gary on VR Roundtable, it might have been VR Roundtable episode 55, I think. He talked about Luna for a while, and when he was talking about it, I had not played it. So I was just listening to him. I didn't know anything about this experience, but he was talking about that game company. Journey on PS3 was a magical experience for a lot of people. I have to admit, I've never played Journey. Can you believe it? I mean, slap me, give me 40 lashes across the back. I've never played Journey. I just never got around to it. I don't know how it happened, but I never got around to it. I'm not against playing that game. I like artistic type of stuff that is different and unique. I'd have no problem trying Journey, but I just never tried it. But that game company was responsible for that. And I guess two of the primary developers from that game company are on this Phenomena. It's spelled like Phenomena, but it's pronounced Phenomena. Two of those developers are on that team, and so they were partially responsible for this game Luna. And so there's a lot of excitement about that, because that game company, some people feel like Journey is one of the best video games of all time. So anything that these people do, they're really excited about it. They're really hyped about it. Now this game is $15. Okay, so it's not an expensive title, but I'm gonna come in and say that I played it for like maybe an hour, 25 minutes last night, roughly. Okay, and honestly, it's not my cup of tea. Okay, it's not my bag. And what I'll say about the game, it is artistic. This is, honestly, it's not very much of a game per se. It's more artistic. It's more of an experience. It's more of like interactive art or something. I don't know that I would call this a game. There's not a lot of game play that is involved with this, and it's really hard to describe. I don't even know if I could do a good job describing what this game is. But what you do is there's this little bird, right? Okay, so there's a little bird, and you're trying to help this little bird, and it really is a hard thing to describe. So there's like this circular little world that is right there in front of you, okay? And there's this little bird there, and there's like a I don't even know how to describe it. There's like this like tree like thing with several branches coming off of it with these little balls. And so the bird will make a little noise, and you have to hit one of those balls to make a corresponding noise. And then that opens up like this flower, and you grab this thing there, and it goes ding, and then it opens up this star map. And I don't know if you guys are into excuse me, I should have brought a freaking water bottle. I don't have a water bottle anywhere, so I'm just going to have to get through the rest of this show with a dry throat. But I don't know if you guys are familiar with like Alien, like some of the Alien documentaries and stuff, like UFOs and aliens. So there's this Betty and Barney Hill story where like this Betty and Barney Hill got taken away by aliens, and they were up on a spaceship, and they saw like a star map for like the Zeta Reticuli galaxy, and like the aliens showed them like this star map and stuff. And the reason I'm bringing that up, I know it sounds like completely off tangent here, but the reason I'm bringing that up is the main gameplay mechanic for Luna is this little star map thing. You see these stars, and then you have to grab the stars and put them into these different little spots. And if you grab the star and you put it into the wrong spot, it makes a noise like, no, wrong, that's the wrong spot. And then if you put it into the right spot, it's like ding, it makes a nice little ding noise. And so you have these really simple puzzles, and you move the stars around, and you're connecting them to the dots, and then when you're done, it makes a Christmas tree, or it makes a turtle, or it makes a big flower or something like that. It just makes these different designs, and that's basically the gameplay of this game. That's really the puzzle element of this game, is this Betty and Barney Hill star map of Zeta Reticuli aliens. And I'm telling you, if you guys know the Betty and Barney Hill story and like the star map and stuff, and if you've played Luna, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You'll be like, wow, it really is kind of like the Betty and Barney Hill star map. I wonder if the developers of Luna are into like alien UFO documentaries, because it really does have that in it. But honestly, the bottom line here is I don't feel like there's enough gameplay going on here. I feel like it's very artistic. It's beautiful. And so anyway, let's go back to it. So you have this tree, right? And you have to make these sounds, which opens up a little flower on the tree. Then you grab the little ball, okay? Then you go to this star map. You do the Betty and Barney Hill star map. Once you solve that puzzle, it creates some type of shape like a Christmas tree or a turtle or a bear or whatever it is, right? And then so that symbol then goes above that branch on the tree that you opened up. But there's 5 other branches. So then the little bird makes another little noise like ding, ding, ding. And so you go ding, 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 and then it opens up that little flower. You click on that little flower, that takes you to the Betty and Barney Hill star map again. You do the star map thing, then that creates a bear, and then now a little bear is over that part of the tree. And so there's 5 pieces. So you do all 5 pieces, and then what that does is that opens up this like it opens up like this like aquarium thing, like this little world, you know, with like flowers and trees and like streams and stuff. And then you have trees that you can grab. It's almost Sim City style, where you're grabbing like trees, you're putting them in the ground. It kind of reminds me of ActRaiser, actually, if you guys remember that Super Nintendo game from way, way, way back in the days. You're grabbing like trees and putting them in different places, and you can make the trees bigger, and you grab little flowers and you put them in different spots. And honestly, I don't really know what's going on in this section. I don't know what you're really supposed to do. I'm just grabbing all kinds of trees and putting them in all different spots and grabbing flowers, and then I'm making the trees bigger and I'm making the flowers bigger, and then every once in a while you'll do something, and then like some music will start playing, and like a bunch of little extra flowers will grow, and the grass gets a little greener. You're doing something. I don't know what you're actually doing, but you're doing something. And then what happens is you get to this one part where you do whatever you got to do, and then you go into this aquarium where it's all happening, and now it's completely around you and it's full size. And so there will be like a turtle or a bear, and there will be your little bird, and your little bird is in there, and the bear or the turtle is in there, and they're full size, and you're just watching this. And this little sequence is more of just kind of like a little animated story that you get to see at that point. And then there's like a circle thing that appears, and you take your Vive wand, or you take your Oculus controller, and you follow the circle, and then it goes to the next level. And that's what it just repeats over and over again. You get these tree things, you do the star maps, it opens it up, you get inside there, you watch a little story. So I went through like 4 of these areas, and that's pretty much what this game artistic thing brings to the table. It's $15. Personally, I would say pass. Okay, I would pass on it. That's me personally. I like artistic stuff, but there's so much free artistic stuff that paying for an artistic thing, like, it really has to like step up to the plate and like knock it out of the park for me to want to pay for an artistic thing like this, which is kind of sad. One thing I've said before, and I'll say it again, is I really believe experiences like this that aren't truly a game, there really needs to be a monthly membership type of Netflix type of thing. This would be perfect for that, where you pay, say, $10. Let's say you pay $9.99 a month, right? But you get 5 interesting artistic experiences every single month, and Luna would be one of these 5 things. That would make perfect sense for me, and that would be great. But paying $15 for this, if you're a big time fan of that game company and Journey was your favorite game of all time, honestly, I don't know where the resemblances are, though, to be totally, well, I didn't play Journey, so it's hard for me to say, but I didn't feel any magical, like, oh, this is the meaning of life. Like, I didn't get any of that from this. It's artistic, it's beautiful, especially when you get inside the aquarium and it's happening all around you. That looks really good, but overall, didn't really do it for me. And so I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to tell you guys the truth. Didn't really do it for me. I personally would pass. Now, if this game was $10, I still probably wouldn't do it. If it was $5, I would be like, yeah, this is pretty fucking cool. $5, I would do it. So for me, I'm just kind of price sensitive to some of this stuff that doesn't have the gameplay. Because the Betty and Barney Hill star map thing, it's not that interesting. You're just connecting these stars, and it's so easy. It's almost too easy. The only good thing about the Betty and Barney Hill star map gameplay scenario is sometimes the stars are way out there and you have to grab the star and put it over here, and you're grabbing that star. And so it kind of makes it kind of 3D. That was really the only cool thing about it. But overall, I would say the gameplay is so light. If you're buying this, you're buying it for the artistic expression that Phenomena has brought to this, and it does have that artistic expression. So anyway, that's Luna. I'm way over my 30-minute mark. You know what I didn't get to today, guys, is raw data on PlayStation VR. I will talk about this tomorrow because you know what? It blew me away. Raw data on PlayStation VR is awesome. Once again, my throat is cutting out on me, so I got to get out of here. But that has been episode 12. That has been episode 12 of the VR Game Rankings daily vlog for Tuesday, October 17th. And I will be back, of course, tomorrow. And tomorrow, I'm definitely going to tell you guys about this PlayStation VR version of Raw Data, because damn, it is good. I could not believe how well this translation has come over. I was blown away. I was literally blown away by how good Raw Data is on PSVR. It's honestly, it's like one of the 6 or 7 best PSVR games, period. That's how good that translation is, and I want to tell you guys more about it, so I'll talk about that tomorrow. But I'm way over my time limit, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. Later.